Hello. If you are 40 years and above, you will remember the word disco. That's right. Now, disco is a genre of dance in the 60s and the 70s. And so it's a kind of dance that is done in nightclubs, okay? And it originated from the United States of America. Together with the dance disco, we have the disco light. That's right, disco light. And I want to read what disco light means. Disco light are colored lights that flash on and off in time to the music at a disco or other events. Okay, so that is something about disco. Disco is a dance. Disco light is multicolored lights that just come on and off, on and off. Another kind of light is the spotlight. Now, a spotlight is defined as a lamp projecting a narrow, intense beam of light directly onto a place or person, especially a performer on the stage. So a spotlight is a bright ray of light. It's a beam that focuses on one person who is performing or entertaining. Okay, so that is what a spotlight is. So disco light, spotlight. Now I want to talk about them. But for a moment, let's put that aside and let me now give another foundation. If you are new on this channel, my name is Dr. Abraham H. Gaga, and this is Touching Lives 247. The topic I want to speak about today is how did we get here? So let me give you a foundation of what was happening to the church in the 60s and 70s. Now, from the beginning, believers come together and say, we need a place to worship. We need a place to do discipleship. And so, where believers meet, called the church, was a building, a simple, ordinary building. And so, believers gather for discipleship, for prayers, for fellowship. That is what believers gather for. But over time, believers said, we will need some seat, wooden seat, so that we can all sit and be able to run a service, a fellowship together. And it was provided. Then later, believers said, I think these wooden seats are not too comfortable. Can we get plastic seats? And then the church, fellowship began to change the seating texture from wooden seats to plastic seats for more comfort. And some even went further to say, we can get foam, seats, which is not bad, by the way. Okay, so believers improved. With time, believers began to say, in the hall, as we speak, as we interact, we need a good PA system. We need microphones, we need good speakers. And the church was fitted, or the church building was fitted with microphones and speakers, for fellowship, so that when believers come, and there came the drums, the keyboards, and other musical instruments. With time, believers said, we have all this, it's good, but it can be sunny and this place is hot. Let's get fans, standing fans, ceiling fans, and everything. Let's make the place comfortable. And the hall where believers are meeting was made comfortable. Some believers who could afford it said, beyond fans, let's get AC, so that we can cool the environment and have a wonderful time of worship. And over time, believers continued to say, can we make this place even much better? And we saw the introduction of high-level studio standard speakers, amplifiers, combos, instruments. And when you go to churches, fellowship centers, you see expensive instruments and equipments, all in the name of let's make where we are worshiping much better. And finally, somehow, the disco light made its way in churches, and you see lights, multicolored, that keep going on and off, and the spotlight with it also came and projects on the pastor or the speaker or whoever is ministering that day. Friends, so now, for you to appreciate a church, a fellowship group, is the quality of their instruments and gadgets and lighting. So that in the church today, we've moved from fellowship and discipleship to performance. Why? The spotlight made its way in the disco light. So now, what we see is the more expensive your city and church, the more conducive it is for people to come. We want to be the best church. People and pastors want to build what others have not built in the name of church. And so the quality of what a church is now is not just where we can hide from the sun and from the rain, but how qualitative it looks. We have moved from being messenger of the message of God to performance. We have also moved from being the church gathered for fellowship to the church gathered for entertainment. Absolutely. You will agree with me that back in the 60s and 70s, after a sermon in church, people cry, people pray, people give their lives to Christ. But today, after the sermon in church, people clap and hail. Yes, go on, Pastor. That's what's happening. And since, of course, it's a performance, comedians have found their way into the church right now. They sit and minister together with the church leadership. Comedians. Why? It's performance, disco light, and spotlight. I don't know how this has come to you, but I want to remind the church. I want to bring to the notice and remembrance of the church. How did we get here? From a church where we have ministers of the word to now ministers of entertainment. I pray God will help you to do with this sermon what He will be pleased. My name is still Dr. Abraham H. Gaga, and this is Touching Lives 247. My prayer is that the church will return to its original ethics and nature, so that what is happening when we gather is discipleship, not entertainment. I will see you in my next message. Bye.